Hi everyone, it's Wednesday and I'm here to talk to you about week 3, the week 3 assignment and the discussion. You got to start with the assignment so that you are able to then go and complete the discussion. And the discussion is pretty simple. There's only 2 questions. So let's go take a look at the week 3 assignment. All right, scrolling down, it's called Plan Your Path because this week you're going to plan out the paper that you're going to be writing and working on starting this week and week 4 and completing in week 5. We're going to go down and we're going to go all the way to the week 3 summative assessment called Organizing Ideas for Clear Communication. You've been working on the rhetorical situation, learning about and understanding the way in which we plan communication based on been learning about and becoming familiar with the rhetorical situation. The way in which we communicate based on our purpose and who we are speaking with or writing to and in a specific context and how that shapes our communication. You've been analyzing communication, specifically writing because this is a course about writing, and how you use the rhetorical situation. But now we want to think about and transfer how we use the rhetorical situation within our communication to how we plan communication by thinking about the rhetorical situation. What is our purpose? Who are we writing to? What do we want to do? And what is the context that we need to establish in this communication? So this week, you're going to start with outlining a short paper that you are going to be working on and completing in week 5. So this is a summative assessment, and it gives you a chance to test your ideas and then get some feedback on them and then draft and then revise and edit, okay, in week 5. So this is the preparation part of it. It's your planning, okay? So one of the things you have to keep in mind is that your final paper is going to be at least 600 or between 600 and 750 words. You can choose between 2 different genres. A narrative essay, that's a first-person essay that you talk about yourself, an experience that you've had, or an email that you're going to write. Now, obviously, emails can be about many different topics, and so within these genres, there are some requirements. For the personal narrative, which is the short story, as I explained, about an experience, a decision, or a lesson, and an email in which you are going to express some type of concern, request accommodations, or propose an idea or advocate for change. And here's a little bit more about that. All right, so you are then ultimately going to decide. If you write a narrative, you're going to talk about overcoming a challenge in your life, all right? And explain how you did that, what that challenge was, and the process that you went through. Made a big decision, help someone, receive some kind of help, or something important, but the point of it is what you learn from that, okay? For the email, you're going to be expressing a concern about some issue or situation within your work, possibly in an academic setting, regarding an organization, a company, an issue you see that has been created by an audience that you can write to. You can request a policy change or accommodation in school, work, etc. You can write a proposal or a new idea for work or advocate for some kind of change. But what underlines all of these is that you're writing an argument and persuasive email. Even when you express a concern, that's an argument because you're saying this problem or issue exists and here's why, and you're providing evidence through examples and explanation. When you're requesting something or proposing something, you are trying to persuade someone, which is an argument plus an argument supports your belief or opinion or issue, but persuasion actually goes a step further and asks that audience makes some kind of change or does something, okay? So before you start your outline, you want to start to plan it, map it out. And so here's some questions to help you. What's the main message that you are wanting to get across, or the takeaway? What are the main points you want to include? What are examples or details that are going to support your ideas and provide evidence or make it more clear? What order is going to make the most sense? All right. And then you're going to actually create your outline. So this is what the instruction part, this is what you're going to do. All right. An outline is a roadmap. It helps you to stay organized. It helps you to see where you're going and to follow that plan. Sometimes when you revise that structure or organization a little bit because you see it in a little different way. But this is to help you get started. You're going to start with a working thesis, the central message, the sentence that's going to come at the beginning that's going to tell your audience, this is my topic and my purpose. This is what I want to do with this paper or email. The main points that you're going to use to support your point or message. These are the points, your reasons for your concern or your proposal. I believe this change is important because. I believe this change is important because. I believe this change is important because. Those are your main supporting points. The details that you're going to need to support these points, to develop these points, to provide evidence for these points, and the organization. Okay, so you're going to use complete sentences in this outline. The thesis statement is going to be a complete sentence. The main points are going to be complete sentences. You can use partial sentences or phrases for your supporting details so that I can see where you're heading and give you some feedback. You're going to use this outline template. It's going to help guide you in creating your outline and the information that you need to include. You also want to look at your textbook and page 60, which is going to talk about the thesis statement, and then you're going to write a short rationale for why you chose and created the thesis that you did, how you organized your outline, why you used the progression of the ideas, why you believe that was most logical. And then here are some questions for you to answer in this rationale. Proofread and edit carefully, of course. Here's additional assessment support, some outline examples for you that are both narrative and proposal outlines, okay? So then finally, let me go back to the week 3 discussion, because again, you need to have already looked at the week 3 assignment and kind of decided what you want to do. So there are only 2 parts of this. First, you're going to just talk about structure in general in writing. So you're going to think about something you read. You're going to describe it, what it was about, how hard or easy it was to follow, what kind of structural, organizational choices they made. Structure is usually using paragraphs, using bullet points, headings, things like that. That's structural. Organization is the progression, the way they organize their ideas, what came first and then next and then last, okay? And then again, this is why you looked at the week 3 assignment, because you need to state what you've chosen to write about that in a couple of sentences, the structure that you think you might take, what makes most sense, organization as well here, okay? And then what's one part of your message that you already know you need to be really clear about? Maybe it's something to do with the context, some background, some explanation, a point you're going to make, the thesis, something like that, okay? All right, so this is week 3. It's all about starting your paper or your narrative essay or your email and the planning part. This is the pre-writing part of the writing process. So if you have any questions about any of this, If you want to pass your ideas by me before you start to create your outline, I'm happy to give you some feedback. All right, you guys, have a good rest of your day. Bye.